We have Grandmaster Arjun Erigaisi entering in. He is playing the third round of the Chennai Grandmasters 2025. Arjun takes on the American Grandmaster Ray Robson here. He settles down in the chair. Arjun is right now rated 2776 before this tournament, and as we all know, he is really fighting hard for that spot in the candidates, which he could get from FIDE Grand Swiss or from the FIDE World Cup. But if there's one spot where he can really press for now, it's that rating spot, but for that, Hikaru sits very strong at 2807, and for Arjun to reach there is a lot of points for which he has to score heavily in this tournament. And there you see Ray Robson entering. Arjun is fully focused in his calm meditation. He's just thinking about something, or just not thinking about something. He opens his eyes, he sees Ray Robson, he wants to shake hands. Ray's there, they shake hands there. And right now Arjun is on 1.5 points. Same for Ray Robson. He did beat Vidit Gujarati in the previous round. So this is going to be a great clash. A handshake and we are off. With the white pieces, Arjun thinks for a bit and brings his knight out to f3. A good move. Interesting move, because in round 1 he played 1e4 against Evander Liang. And so Arjun now plays knight f3, and one of the things that I've always noticed about Arjun is that he likes to keep walking in the game. The amount of time he sits at the board, I think, is much lesser than the time he spends walking around. Pawn to c4, he plays the symmetrical English, and Ray Robson has so many options now. He can bring his knight out, he can bring his other knight out, he can play g6. He plays pawn to b6. Another very interesting move actually, to put his bishop on b7. Pawn to e4 by Arjun, building up this strong center here, and he wants to play some kind of a Maroczy bind here. Bishop b7, attacking the pawn here, and I guess Arjun will go knight to c3. Yes, he brings his knight out to c3, defending the pawn on e4, and Ray Robson now pushes his pawn to e6. Well, it's time for now to play d4. This move, you gain space. Arjun instantly comes back and plays d4. The pawn takes, you can take back with the knight. So he takes pawn, knight takes pawn. Many options here for Robson. Knight f6, knight c6, even a6 seems okay. He goes knight to f6, kind of provoking Arjun to go e5. He still has knight e4 here, which shouldn't be a problem. So e5 might be a bit rushed. f3 definitely seems good. You can also put your bishop to d3. So he does play his bishop to d3, defending the pawn in the center. And now knight comes out to c6. The knight attacks the other knight on d4, and Arjun keeps the knights on the board with knight f3. He's saying that I have more space, so I'm ready to keep more pieces on the board. Bishop b4 played by Robson. He may want to take on c3 and spoil Arjun's structure, so Arjun very quickly goes bishop d2. And now knight comes to g4. The knight wants to settle in on the e5 square. He plays pawn to a3, questioning the bishop. And bishop to c5. Now the bishop is attacking the f2 point. castles for white. And let's see how Ray Robson continues here. He goes queen b8. I love this move actually, because he's lining up on the h2 square. He's threatening knight to d4. And Arjun plays b4. And now a very important move, knight d4. Because you can't take the bishop, knight f3 check and queen h2 mate. And if you play g3, I can take, queen takes, and knight e5, followed by just bishop going back, or even queen d6 attacking here. But these were in tough lines. Oh, he does play knight d4 and takes on. Oh, this is happening. Queen takes f3. Guys, I thought that this is tough line, but Ray Robson finding it. Knight e5 also found here. Amazing. Ray is better, clearly. Queen e2. And now can he find queen d6 as well? That would be something. No, he goes bishop e7. Maybe not the best. And Arjun now keeps his bishop. This is a very ambitious move by Arjun. He wants to put his bishop on b3. Then rook c1. Robson comes up, queen to c7. Plays his bishop to b3, and now rook c8. This is a mistake because, you know, there is a strong move that Arjun has, f4. I love it. The point is, if you take the pawn, I have knight b5. If queen c6, I have knight a7. And I guess this is where Ray Robson might have missed some calculations. So he goes back knight c6. But guys, now Arjun has so much space in the center. It's like, you know, with these top players, you miss one calculation, or you can say sub calculation inside a variation that you have to play, and they are all over you. That's why Arjun is one of the best in the world. Rook f d8. Rook d2 with the idea of doubling down on the d file. And he plays pawn to d6. He goes rook d1, putting pressure in the center. Pawn on d6 is a bit weak. Bishop goes to f8. And already Arjun starts playing on the king side with h4. What an amazing move. He's trying to create play with h5, h6. Bishop a8. Ray Robson is unable to find many things to do here. He brings his bishop back to a8. And now Arjun Erigaisi goes king to h2. Simply, calmly playing his position. a5 played, and I think that's a big mistake, because okay, he's hoping for b5 to get the c5 square for his knight, but Arjun is so ready with knight a4, and his point being that if you play rook b8, now b5, and the knight cannot go here. It's very strong. So that's the reason why he goes a takes b4, trying to justify his move, but bishop takes b6 is winning an exchange here. He goes queen to b8, and you can chop off the rook now on d8. No, first takes on b4, and he's saying to his opponent, well, you could potentially save your rook, but then I have b5 and very strong pawns. So Ray Robson decides to give up the exchange. He takes the pawn on b4 with the knight. Knight takes b4. Bishop d8 taken. Rook d8. And there is knight to c3. The rook comes to c8. And Arjun jumps knight to b5. He's attacking the pawn on d6. It's difficult to defend. Knight c6 played. If you take here, the bishop will hang later on b3. So Arjun calmly plays bishop c2. Now rook to d8. And already I think there are many good moves. e5, taking advantage of this pin, looks very strong. He plays it. Pawn to e5. He takes. Rook takes rook by Arjun. Knight takes rook. And queen takes on e5. Queen takes queen. Pawn takes. And now the knight is hanging here on d8. And he goes bishop e7. The rook moves in. Rook to d7 here. And king comes to f8. And he goes in with his knight to d6. Arjun playing so well, so quickly, keeping a lead on the clock. Bishop c6, attacking the rook. The rook ready to move to c7. And he plays his pawn to f6. Once again, Arjun finds the best move, bishop h7. And pawn takes pawn. Maybe the best move here is pawn to c5, pushing forward. And he plays it, pawn to c5. Like super accuracy by Arjun. Bishop d5. And he goes rook c8. Bishop comes up to f6. It's like Ray Robson is playing against Stockfish here. Arjun is just making all the top engine moves. Bishop e4. King comes up to e7. Rook check. King f8. And now king h3. The bishop comes back to e7. And Arjun now plays rook c8 once again, pinning the knight. Bishop takes d6. Can you take on d8 with a check here? Can you take on d5? All look so tempting. He plays bishop d5. Now this and this both are hanging. And Ray Robson is utterly lost here. He thinks for a bit and resigns. Arjun Erigaisi scores his second win in the Quant Box Chennai Grand Masters. He's now up to 2.5 out of 3, just half a point behind Vincent Keimer, who started off with an amazing 3 out of 3. This is turning into a very exciting event for Arjun as well, because as we spoke at the start of this video, he would love to reach 2800 ELO, and with this win he has moved on to 2782.6. He will be trying to continue his juggernaut in this tournament, continue his run, and that will be interesting to see. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Thank you.